see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, and this is episode 672 of the Lots Project podcast, and it is titled Nothing Burger. I'll be chatting about the events of the eclipse and an evening with friends, Dollar General to the rescue, and some testing on new video stream and all sorts of things. So, good morning. Thanks for coming in. Let's check out with the live chat all over the place, see who's hanging out, grab a cup of coffee and hang out for an hour. Thank you for joining me. Let me pop over here. So what I got going on this morning, guys, before we get too far into it, is had a couple discussions this weekend with some people that do vertical live video, namely John Willis, Tim Cook has messed around with a little bit, a couple other people I talked to, and what happens is when you have a vertical video, like short style video live, YouTube will inject it into the shorts feed. And then people are flipping through their shorts, watching short videos on YouTube, flipping through their shorts in other people's shorts, wherever. But as they're scrolling through, your live will populate into the shorts feed, and it's no longer a short, it's your live. And then they can click on it, they can navigate to it. And so when this actually kicked off, I was like, oh, I wonder if StreamYard, the service that I use to do all this, to send my signal to all these different places like Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, I wonder if they can output one feed of vertical video and one feed of landscape video from the same feed. And Tim and I talked about it. We couldn't find it. He actually emailed the company. They said, hey, we really want to do it. It's just not there yet. It's not even really on the roadmap, but we know that we want to do it. And so I was like, all right. So we were waiting on that. Well, yesterday morning, I had a few minutes, and I was extremely tired, like I talked about on the show. And so I was just sitting here messing around, drinking some coffee, and I'm like, I wonder. And so I took a minute and set up a couple streams in two different tabs on Brave. So I set up one as the normal live stream with all the places it's going, like it does every day. And then I set another one up. It's a separate live stream. And I was curious if Brave could pick up my camera in two separate videos feeds, like pick up the image, or if it was only locked to one. I don't think I could do it from like one in Brave and one in Edge or Chrome or wherever. But I opened up two tabs, opened up two streams, brought up the camera on both on the back end before they went live. It was fine, and I tried it, and worked, I guess. I don't know. Is it working for you guys? Is it for those of you watching the normal landscape live stream, does everything look all right and sound the same and everything like that? I don't see anybody watching on the vertical video, which is fine. I'm just curious where it's populating to, and if everything is going the same as far as the YouTube. Pip says 5x5 on the YouTube end. All right. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to make all this, how to make it all work on my little laptop screen. If we end up someplace a little more spacious, I am guessing if I'm building from the ground up, I'll have a couple monitors. But you make it work. And There might be a lot of those. There might be a lot of dog earthquakes today. It is pouring rain here. It's pouring rain. Hey, Pete, don't try to find it. If you don't mind, just go and watch like you're watching YouTube shorts. Like you're not searching for me or anything. Just flip through shorts like you were scrolling, doom scrolling someday, and see if it will populate in. Because you follow me, I think it should at least tag, like ping your account at some point. But don't try to search it. And then if you don't have any luck after a couple minutes, if you could search it, that would be fine. Good morning again. So that was kind of I want to throw that out there in case things were going sideways or it didn't. Pip says search natural. Yeah. Um yeah, so that's it. That's kind of the experiment today. We'll see what happens. From what I understand, so then hey Aline Rowe over there on the vertical feed, how we're saying, I can see your text. I can see your text. The issue is for me, excuse me, I have two tabs going on this. So I'm periodically checking in on this vertical feed. If you want to pop over on my landscape feed on my normal morning show, that would be cool. So at least it's popping up somewhere. It's popping up somewhere. All right, well, let's rewind and get back to the beginning of the show and start again. We'll just roll with it over there. I'll periodically check in over on those comments. I got my my normal comment feed here, and then my other tab with Noster. If anybody's over on Noster, good morning, good morning. Let's check up in this live chat, see who has been filtering in. Jen G first in this morning, 1 a.m. Did you get up to pee or something and you loaded YouTube while you were sitting on the pot and you gave a first comment? Appreciate it. Thanks for thinking of me in the middle of the night. I guess that's not quite the middle of the test. 1, 2, 3. That working for you now? That working now? Hello? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mentioned it. I don't know. My mic is it's powered, and it's powered by a USB port, and I think I might be losing my USB port because that's the second time it's happened, and it wasn't necessarily because of the tabs, because it wasn't that the other day. I appreciate everybody letting me know it's back and good. It oh, I gotta go unmute that too. But yeah, I think I might be dropping power in that USB port. Good thing I have a USB tester. I can test the electric flow through it, but it'll randomly start pulling less power. So that's something I'm definitely gonna have to look into. Ah, the joys of Pip says just don't start singing like Nicole. I don't think you can pull it off. I am actually a very good singer. Ask Corey. Corey, don't I sing to you all the time? Oh, she said how often and the quality is not correlated, but I sing to her all the time. I make her up songs, I make up other songs, and I'm always singing around here, and it is fantastic. I should make recordings and release them, and then maybe I wouldn't be a podcaster, I'd be a rock star because whew. Chris Dixon says, I bet you're hilarious too. Just ask Corey. What do you say? She's over there nodding, yes. Oh, guys, what happened for you with the eclipse? First of all, if you're in the comments, let me know. Were you in the path of totality? Hey, Elaine Rowe again over on the vertical, but were you in the path of totality of the eclipse? We were at like 90+% here. Pickle pieces. I'm giving her all she's got, Jim. She's not meant to go to warp 10. Yeah, no, it's that powered mic. Yeah, it says my little laptop for sure. I've run this whole podcast, everything, social media, YouTube, everything that I've done pretty much for all of this video, audio, anything digital has flown through my my I guess it's not crappy. I did spend a decent amount of money and got a decent laptop, but it's rolled right through this laptop. Every live stream and everything. I guess phone a lot too, but everything gets edited on here. Everything gets rolling through here. So I've definitely got my money's worth. Definitely got my money's worth. Chris Dixon says the moon passed in front of the sun. We kept working. Did you guys roll with welding helmets up there, Chris? I'm sure you got plenty of welding helmets around the shop. That's a pretty easy go-to, especially if you got auto darkening. Blakesley Acres says we were close, but too cloudy to bother looking, just kept moving dirt. Yeah, that was pretty much the sentiment around most places. I did look outside. I'll share with you my eclipse experience. No giants here. It was partly cloudy. It was pretty cloudy in the morning. We had some rain, some thunderstorms. I think we were getting thunderstorm during the show. And then it kind of cleared up, and then it started getting cloudy in again. And I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Old Big Daddy government gonna throw those clouds right over the path of totality. They don't want you to see what's going on. And then it was partly cloudy. We were sitting, Corey got done with work. Jen G says beautiful weather here, no clouds, but nothing to see either. Chris Dixon says, yeah, 5 idiots out in the yard in welding helmets. Shade 13 boys. My buddy and I that did that, we actually sat on a picnic table, and our facility We were basically running a miniature refinery in a office park. So there were like buildings with insurance agencies and little mom and pop businesses that didn't need a storefront in this office park. And we're sitting out on the picnic table in between the two buildings with welding helmets on. I will guarantee you no building within a block of us had a welder, had a shop, had anything other than guys in suits and ties and carpet on the ground. And we're sitting out on the picnic table in our dirty ass coveralls with welding helmets on, looking at the sky. And it wasn't even a total eclipse where we were. We just didn't want to work anymore. And we were like, oh, there's an eclipse today. We'll go watch it. Sat outside for like 2 hours. People are looking at us going, what the hell's going on with these two? But anyway, that was 2017. 2024 happened yesterday. And man, it was pretty underwhelming. I'll tell you. I didn't think we were going to get to see it. Corey and I were sitting inside, and I was curious if we could see it out the window. And just from the way where the sun was in the sky. And so I peeked my head out the window, and it was covered with clouds. I peeked my head out the other window. It was covered with you gotta wrap them in tinfoil to get the full effect, the reflection. Here, I had it from yesterday. And so I look out the window, and the clouds had covered at that moment. It was still a little early, and I think the sun was still over the camper enough that I couldn't see it out the window. And so I go out the door of the camper, and I barely glanced up to see where the sun was, not to look at it, just to see where it was. And I was like instantly blind. I don't know if it was the refraction off the clouds or what was going on, but as I glanced up, I was like, couldn't see anything. I come inside, I was like, wow, that was stupid. Sit down. I'm like, meh, I don't know. It's about an hour away. We'll see. As it got closer, we looked out the windows with the tinted windows here in the camper. We could see it. Corey was kind of peeking out there. She's like, hey, look it out there. You can see it now. And I'd look out. I was like, son of a bitch. She'd like make me look into the sun. She'd laugh, and I'd do it again because I'm not that smart. But yeah, it was meh. We didn't have glasses. We didn't prepare. We didn't care really. Basically, it didn't really matter. So yeah, there were no giants, no earthquakes that I could tell. Like I said, if there was an earthquake, it could be mistaken for a dog itching. It could be mistaken for made you look day. That's right, Pip. It could be mistaken for a dog shaking. We do have shocks, so really any earthquake could easily swing past us unless we were swallowed by the earth. Hunter says, sorry for spamming the Telegram group. No, dude, I was gonna say while you were doing it, I was like, I'm literally going to, if I go on social media today after it happened, that's all I'm gonna see anyway, because there's gonna be 1,000 people recording it, taking pictures of it, blah, whatever, along with all the professional feeds that people will be sharing. I'm like, I don't think I need to see this in person. It's not totality here. It's not a beautiful day here, and blah, blah, blah. And then Hunter, like, live action by action photos into the Telegram group. I didn't even need to go outside, guys. I was perfectly fine just staying inside and being on my phone like most kids these days. So I appreciate you, Hunter. I appreciate you taking care of the less fortunate. We know Sean was in the group. He was way out in Washington. Brian, those guys didn't even, I think Brian mentioned it had like 37% coverage. Impressive. Like, I think when a bird flies by the sun, if it's close enough to your face, it's more than 37% covered. Pip says, Dad hands me some eclipse glasses. I said, yeah, it looks like an airplane. I'm going back to work. Right. Oh man, but nothing happened. I was kind of disappointed. I was getting a little sketched out. Pip says it was one of the few days where people are looking up instead of looking down at their phone. Not necessarily. They're looking up at their phone. Toolman Tim was over in Nashville and ended up on the top of a parking ramp and has video. Everybody's like looking through their phone and taking videos, pictures, or using filters or whatever. So Chris Dixon says, wonder how the 1,000,000+ people who went to Niagara Falls made out. I saw pictures of Niagara Falls and there were no 1,000,000 people in Niagara Falls. Nah. I think the hype. I think the hype did not play out. I can't be for sure. I wasn't in all those places, but from the rumblings I'm hearing, not from official reports, but from people that are like there, I got connections throughout the country. This audio podcast, this video podcast, and things like that get you hooked up with people from all over the country, all over the world. And from the things I was seeing, nothing burger, absolute nothing burger. Not as many people traveled as they ever thought. National Guard was not needed for overflowing traffic. The highways weren't spilling over. I posted a warning the other day in the Telegram group. By the way, if you're interested in going to the Telegram group, it's t.me/LotsChat. It's an interesting hodgepodge of absolute insanity, brilliance, and garbage, and fun, laughs, and enjoyment all wrapped in one. It is fantastic. The group of people there are awesome. If you need help with a problem, you throw it in there. We fix your problem. If you are having a shitty day and you say it, we'll cheer you up or make you hate your life even more so you do something about it. It's a great group of people, like really great group of people. I enjoy it. And it's small enough that you don't get bogged down, and it's big enough that there's a hive mentality. So I appreciate everybody that's over there. And if you want to if you want to join, like I said, t.me/LotsChat. Blakesley Akers said his neighbor was up in Niagara Falls in the morning working, and he said it wasn't any different than a normal Monday. I saw pictures of the falls. So I've been to Niagara Falls like countless times. I grew up in Western New York. I went to school in Buffalo. I went to Niagara Falls, Canada on a bi-weekly basis, at least for several, for quite a while. So I've been through the falls. I've been to the falls. I've been to both sides. When I see a picture of Niagara Falls, where there's like a platform, a visitor center, or a viewing point, I've been there. I've seen it. Like, it just through repetition, I recognize exactly where they're at. There weren't 1,000,000 people there. The pictures I saw, there were maybe 100 at the one platform. Probably because it was possibly blocked by a building where the sun was going to be for the majority of that platform. But it was cloudy. It was a crappy day. Maybe that deterred people coming out. Maybe they blew it way out of proportion. Chris Dixon says, yeah, I know Big Brother hyped it up real good. Yeah, Pip says it sounds like the 1,000,000-Man March. Oh no, I remember the 1,000,000-Man March. Wasn't it some weird thing with the 1,000,000-Man March was like a month or a couple weeks before the Right to Life March? And they said the 1,000,000-Man March was going to be 1,000,000 people, and they took videos of it and made it look like there was 1,000,000, and then the far out videos there were like 20,000 people. And then the pro-life, the Right to Life March, there were like millions of people, and they took the picture and made it like a little clump of people that were walking by themselves, and it said, a few protesters showed up. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Jim. How you doing? Let me pop over. Jim popping in on Noster. Good morning. Thanks for that zap. I appreciate it, sir. I definitely appreciate it. Exotic Duck says, do I like ducks? I do like ducks. If you switch over to the horizontal video and check out the full screen, there are a ton of ducks over on the side here. Hashtag grow noster. Hashtag grow noster. Good morning, Miss. Hey, good morning, Chris. How we doing? Mama number 2. Thanks for swinging in. Pip says rubber ducks. Yeah, that was a comment over from the vertical feed. Pip, somebody asked if I like ducks. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I like little rubber ducks with cups on their cups on them. So, thanks for stopping, Chris. I appreciate it. So eclipse here, no big deal. No big deal. No giants, no earthquakes, no rapture, unless, I mean, there could have been the rapture, but nobody I know made it because I saw a bunch of people that I know yesterday. I've talked to them, so we're shit out of luck, guys. Not that anybody that I hang out with I would ever think would probably ascend. I miss you too, Chris. I hope everything's going good in New York. I don't know if I'll ever be back around that way. New York makes me feel weird when I'm there. Yeah, so nothing big here. Nothing weird except now we talked every Friday for the last few weeks about eclipse conspiracy theories and TikTok, and I hope you guys don't think that I was all in on that stuff. I consider it. I'll listen to anybody. None of it really made sense. It all was very coincidental. Like, I'm not saying that these people didn't line things up very well, lay them out. Could they have happened? Yeah. Did I think they were going to happen? No. Hunter says, oh yeah, we need a list of people to stone. So I wasn't waiting for the earth to crack open. Jim says I did want the Giants to come. Like no shit. I read all the things. I didn't expect any of it to happen, but you sure as shit know I wish they did. Are you kidding? Could you imagine how long I could talk about Giants like emerging from the earth during an eclipse as long as the internet was still around? Chris Dixon says one of our guys is a wannabe flat earther, so that's fun on a daily. Yeah, like I am willing to go the extra mile to research flat earthers to fuck with them when we talk with them or when I talk with them. So learning conspiracy theories is a little bit my entertainment, a little bit preparedness, a very little bit of preparedness, and then more entertainment value than anything. But yesterday morning, I was like, there is a lot of shit coincidentally lining up right now. Whether any of it's true, whether any of it's going to happen, whether any of the information that they're using to make up these theories was true or not, you got to have it in the back of your head. I mean, I think that's the point. They inundate you with it, whether it's Joe, Jimmy, Bob on TikTok or the government media or whoever. People repeat things and people do things to get it out of your mind, make you think about it. Then you spin on it. Then you think about it. And maybe they don't all stick, but maybe some do. So I'm sitting there yesterday morning and I'm like, it'd be really interesting if some of this shit actually went down. And I'm trying to get a little work done. I mentioned, I think, in the Telegram group, I don't think I was that far on the show yet. But I realized how much I do every weekend when I'm not around at all for the weekend. Corey and I, when we do stuff on the weekend, it's usually half of one day, maybe a full day, but there's always that other day to do some stuff. And being gone for 2 days straight and not getting any forward momentum, not keeping even, and really, really falling behind it really made me understand how much I do on the weekend and on the daily, really, which is reassuring. When you spin your wheels, when you're making little progress, kind of like when you're trying to drive in the snow and your wheels are spinning 1,000 miles an hour, but you're only moving inches at a time, you start to forget how many revolutions your tires are taking. Necessary in the end to get where you want to be. Like this, I got my new shirt at SOE. This was the one thing I picked up. Front says overnight success. Back says after years and years and years of hard work. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think that's a Willis and a Jack Spirko thing. So it was almost a little cathartic to sit down and make a list and go, holy crap, I do a bunch. I don't feel as bad anymore. Because when the results aren't as good as you want them, but you know you're working toward it, yes, you need a reality check every once in a while. But anyway, I was realizing that I was sitting here, I got my list done, and I was like, all right, I got to work. Corey was working a little bit. She had a day off, but she had some stuff she had to take care of to cover some things. So she logged on for a few hours, and I was like, okay, I can pound some stuff out here and get some stuff done to where when Corey is done, I can stop and catch up more tomorrow or whenever. I like to spend time with her when she doesn't have to work. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. Thanks for swinging in. I appreciate it. Hey, look at all you guys. Look at all you guys over in the vertical feed. Cool. So it must be working. Anyway, so I'm working along. I'm typing up some research on some products that I have to do videos on. And I started doing the Chris Dixon says that's how journaling can help. It's a daily reality check. Dude, you don't even understand how much I should do that. I even if it's a digital journal, I really should just sit at the end of the day and recount before I pass out. I always try to fill that end of the day with something positive, listening to videos on how to do things better, how to change things, something I'm researching. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. I'll get there. That's a great idea, Chris. I probably should put that on my to-do list. We'll see when I get to it. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm typing away. And I'm like, whoa, deja vu. Like, no shit. Like, I wish I could make it up. I wish I could make it up. I was typing and I was like, I've done this before. And it's not like it was a product that I had looked before. It wasn't anything like research I had looked before. I wasn't popping back and forth, but multitasking where I might have been doing something before. I was like, something's going on. And then I started to like kind of be like, huh, maybe something is going on. I don't know. And so I get through this deja vu and I keep going along. I move on to something else. I was doing my my weekly tracker, my weekly stats tracker for my Amazon videos I do. And I'm filling that out and I'm like, I had a high week. I had my highest week of earnings so far. I mentioned it on the show. And I'm like typing the things out and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Stop. Because it wasn't the fact that it was earnings, it was the fact that it was the same number. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Hunter says, damn it, we slipped dimensions again. And all I could start thinking about was CERN firing up today or yesterday. And all these particle accelerators we talked about in the US doing all these experiments on Eclipse Day. And I'm like, these guys are trying to open other dimensions. Like the director of CERN has publicly admitted that if they opened another dimension, they would consider the project a success. So with all the Mandela effect stuff and the deja vu stuff really pointing towards interdimensional, like that's what it is, like parallel dimensions and things like that. When I started blipping out with deja vu on the morning of the eclipse when they're supposed to fire up all this stuff, I was like, really? For all the new folks, if you don't know, this is my buddy Plugsy. Plugsy is a pig duck, and he has a duction cup in his duck hole. And a duction cup is for you duck fans, you Jeep fans that are a fan of the Duck Jeeps. It's a way to keep them on your dash or on your window or anything like that. My friend Ryan, my friend Pip, he sent me a bunch of these, and that duck has been on there for, man, probably over a year now. That's my buddy Plugsy. Canadian Farms. I don't know if you're allowed to stay in the chat after this one. Canadian Farmstead said, I was going to make a deja vu joke, but I think you already heard it. Wah, wah, wah. I don't have my soundboard yet, guys. You keep throwing jokes in like that, you're gonna make me download a soundboard with all the whoopee cushion jokes and things like that. So Canadian Farmstead said he'll see himself out. Thank you very much. Head on over to Toolman Tim's group on Telegram where dad jokes are appreciated. So the deja vu was pretty thick for majority of the morning. Really, it was odd. And I don't know if it was because my routine had kind of blipped out. I'm pretty set in routines. That makes me function better. I didn't know if that was it. If it was the fact that I was extra tired and had an extra pot of coffee. Oh, hey Chris, no problem. My friend, my best friend growing up, his mom is here over on Facebook, and she's wondering if there's a secret to seeing the others' comments. The majority of the comments are from the YouTube feed live stream. And then we have a couple people that watch on Twitch, and I have a software that I use that broadcasts to several different locations, and I get all the comments, and I should be better at putting them up when they are not the YouTube comments, because no one can see the other ones. Like if you're on Facebook, you only see the Facebook, but I see them all and I can put them all on the screen. So I will be better at that, Chris. Thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, if you the YouTube channel is where the majority of folks are, and a sprinkling of people other places. So for anybody else that was wondering, I will I am really bad at putting things on the screen. So Canadian Farmstead says the real question is, what's the next date for the end of the world? I was headed there, man. So the deja vu, I was wondering if I was super tired or just off routine or what it was. Trying to put it out of my head, but it kept happening. And that's probably because I kept thinking about it. It was pretty thick during the day. Corey wrapped up late morning, probably 11, 12, something like that. And so we sat and hung out. We got an invite the day before to an eclipse party, which is cool. That was my first eclipse party. Got invited. It was a potluck. It was going to be for the eclipse and then in the evening. We didn't make the eclipse. We needed to do a bunch of stuff, so we decided we were going to go over and hang out after. friends had been out of town for 4 or 5 months, I think. And we went and hung out, had potluck dinner. But as I got into the afternoon, the deja vu kind of petered a little bit. Wasn't as bad. And then after the eclipse happened, it was like gone. And I don't know if it was just the scenario, what I was doing, how I was rolling through it, maybe the fluorescent light that I stare at all the time for lighting, for live streaming. I don't know. But it was odd, and it was an odd coincidence, and that's what it's been for years and years and years, or years and years and years, days and days and days, talking about eclipse and coincidence and conspiracy theory. So there's that. Canadian Farmstead said that I was going to get to this, or I said I was going to get to this. He asked, "What's the next date for the end of the world?" And I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, so the eclipse happens at slightly different times across the path of totality. We've all seen the picture of the Mike Sohm said palm tree in Norman. We're back this weekend. Yeah. That's where my eclipse party was. So I started thinking about the fact that the eclipse happens at different places. Well, this all really goes back to the fact that everybody was so focused on the end of the world. Well, I shouldn't say everyone. The feeds that they kept feeding into my TikTok, because I habitually watch them for show prep, were all about the end times and this and that, and all the signs here for this eclipse that we're so pompous to think that all of humanity and all of Christianity, or all of Christianity revolves around the signs that are pointed at the United States. Not where the Bible was written in the Middle East or anything like that, but the signs will come in the United States and no one else will see it. Really? I had this moment too a long time ago when I was trying to figure out what the MO for COVID was, what the play was there, and this is regardless of. K-Bong says, "Thumb that thumb, ass hats." Yes, ass hats. Thumb the thumb. When I thought about COVID, and this is the eclipse, I guess, it kind of semi-related, like Alabama husband wife. I started thinking about COVID, and I was like, what's the play here? Regardless of whether it was good, bad, indifferent, whether it was going to kill you or you didn't think so, whether it was bad for the weak immunity system, like whatever you felt it was, on purpose, natural, whatever, governments used it. Like, you can't deny that. Whether you think it was the worst disease in the world, or you think it was not even as bad as the common cold, you have to agree with the fact that the government used it to accomplish shit. I mean, I don't think that's hard to agree with. Jim says still using it against us, and that's my point. Like, I don't think anybody thinks that COVID is going to kill us all at this point, and they're still using it. So there was a motive there. And I had a moment at one point where I was really trying to figure out if it was coordinated, what the play was, who was behind it. You get down in these thought processes. And I said, I was talking to somebody, and they said, the lockdowns and everything and COVID, it's all about the election, man. It's all about the election. They don't want Trump elected. And I'm like, no. How wrapped up are we in our own head that there was a worldwide concerted effort to restrict people's freedoms to affect the election in America? This didn't just happen here. Do trumpets, what are they called? What, you guys let me know what the Trump people are called anymore. I've been checked out of politics for so long. I don't even know what they call them anymore. Are they still trumpets? Is that the term for this election? Or did they come up with a new name? Orange Oompa Loompas or whatever. Are they that deranged? Are the Biden supporters that deranged that they think that there was a worldwide effort to restrict people's freedoms because of the U.S. election? Now, I'm not saying that the U.S. didn't take wholehearted advantage of it to use, but correlation doesn't equal causation. Pip says news calls Trump supporters terrorists. Haas, hey, how's it going, bud? Thanks for stopping in. Haas says, plus one of the biggest fraud scams. Oh yeah, one of the biggest fraud scams ever, for sure. For sure. Hey, OCE Breezy Prod, shout out to you. I just flipped over to the vertical feed and some folks are hanging out. I appreciate you. I might need to get a anybody want to be a vertical feed chat moderator? Maybe on a second, maybe on another account, or maybe you don't comment much or interact much, but you can just say hi to folks and stuff in the vertical feed. Tell them to come on over to the full show. I don't know. Hunter says, I wonder what bills Congress pushed through yesterday. Yeah. Did they switch out a new body double for Sniffy Joe? Did you guys see his meeting with Netanyahu? Caught that in passing, didn't have time to watch it. Like, I swear, guys, I'm so far behind on everything happening in the world. I was so checked out this weekend. I mean, in a good way. You can't. Hey, thanks for the zap over on Noster Recon Graves. I appreciate it. Noster here too. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Corey, I need more screens. I know her reply is going to be make more money. Buy more screens, make more money. Hey guys, if you want to donate to the Brian Needs More Screen funds, you know where to do it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mess. Sniffy Joe falling asleep during a meeting with a world leader that is about ready to blow up the Middle East, and like, really, do we really believe that dude is in charge of our country? Like, really? And then after the video, so I watched that video. He was like falling asleep and mumbling or something, and I almost spit my drink out because the guy goes, "Did you hear what he said?" I'm like, it sounded like mumbles to me in my head. And he goes, I would love to tell you what he said. I would love to voice to text up, but nobody can fucking tell what he said. And I almost spit my coffee out because he was super serious. Did you hear what he said? No, I didn't. What did he say? Could you translate for us? Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Anyway, the potluck we got invited to, Sunday, yesterday was Monday. Sunday night, I got a message from my friends who just came back from 4 months out of town, and was excited to see them. Wasn't sure when we were going to get to see them, and get a message, and they're like, "Hey, we're having an eclipse potluck. You want to come over?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do." Asked Corey because she was busy and wasn't sure if she had plans. She had to work in the morning. It was one of her days off, so I didn't know if she just wanted to sit in the chair and do nothing, which is perfectly fine with me. And she says, "Yeah, I want to go. I want to go see him, but I miss him." And so I said, "Hey, potluck. What do you got coming? What do you got? I know it's a potluck. You're supposed to just bring random, and it is what it is. It's potluck." But we weren't sure what we had time to make, what we had the ability to make, because we've never actually turned the oven on in our trailer at all. Never turned the oven on, not once. So we're not really baking much. Like I said, Corey had to work. She wasn't sure how long her work was going to take. It was something that she hadn't really done a whole lot before. And they were like, "Well, we have this, and this." And then I said, "How about we bring dessert?" I like sugar. I like dessert. We could figure that out. And they said, "Perfect." I said, "Corey, we need to bring dessert." I didn't know what to make. I was like, "Well, we'll go to the store." And then came the eclipse, and then Corey had to work a little bit more than she thought, maybe not as much as she thought. I had stuff to do. I didn't have a chance to run to the store. And we got towards the end of the day, and we said, "Okay, well, we'll pick something up. We're going to be those people. We're going to go to and bring a store-bought item to the potluck." We had pretty legitimate reasons for it. And so we're looking, and they're really local to our friends are really local to us. They're about 15 minutes away. Small area, not a whole lot of stores or anything. I guess we could have gone to the Piggly Wiggly. It's a grocery store. I forgot about the Piggly Wiggly. Anyway, so the only thing that we really felt that we could find was a Dollar General. They're everywhere. You guys know, everybody jokes about it, but we're lucky there was. We actually had to decide which Dollar General we wanted to and figure out which one was closer for the round trip. Because one, we had to go kind of the opposite direction, 7 miles, turn around and come back, and then go like a right angle. It was like this. The other one, we had to go past their place by 7-ish miles, almost exactly the same, go and turn around and come back. And I'm guessing if we went the other direction, it would be about the same. So we are like we are in the Bermuda Triangle of Dollar Generals, I think. We're like in the middle of all of them. And so we didn't really know what we were going to find at the Dollar General to bring to a potluck for dessert. We figured at a minimum we could grab a couple of bags of Oreos or something and make it work. Maybe some candy bars or something like that. K-Bong says, "At least I brought something." Yeah. I mean, I don't show up empty-handed. Even if I had to go and buy like a couple of packs of icebreakers or something, or Eclipse gum was a thought that went through my head. Moon pies and Eclipse gum like Hunter got from his buddy. Little Debbie's. Yeah, we could have brought a bunch of stuff like that, but we gave it a concerted effort. So we went and we walked down the refrigerated section and the freezer section because we knew there was ice cream down on the end. Corey and I, every once in a while, go get like the little tiny things of ice cream because we don't have a very big freezer. And every once in a while, I need to have some ice cream. So we'll go to the Dollar General and get the little tiny ones. So I knew they had ice cream there, and I was hoping that they had some like frozen dessert or something like that. And man, we scored. Holy crap. We got down there and we're looking at the ice cream, and we are looking at like the ice cream bars. I was looking at ice cream sandwiches, Klondike bars. I was like, we could bring this stuff. We already had a cooler with ice and beer for Corey. I bought soda. I'm trying to kick my soda addiction at this point, and I really need to do it because I'm super fucking fat right now. But K-Bonk says high fructose. Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking at all that stuff, and I looked down at the bottom, and it was like the heavens opened up. It was like the post-eclipse apocalypse, but not from heaven, from the bottom of a Dollar General freezer section. There it was. Oreo cake. Haas says wafers, ice cream, and Oreos. Dude, pre-made Oreo ice cream cake this big at the Dollar General. Got it. And then I was like, my friends are healthy. My friends are healthy. They like to eat well. They're very conscious of what they eat. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe we should bring a healthy option too. My eyes started to go up to look at the ice cream bars and everything and see if I could find a healthy snack. And sure as shit, no sugar added, all natural frozen fruit pops. Ching ching, Dollar General for the win. We got our dessert fares. We were able to head on to our eclipse party. We saw our friends. We hung out for a few hours. And this morning, Corey looks at me and goes, I said, man, I'm tired. And the majority of this is from SRF and the whole weekend and then on and on and on. And she goes, yeah, you know, when you get friends and stuff and you go do stuff. And yeah, it's the price. It's the price. Jim says, wait, you didn't get the Oreo. Dude, we got the Oreo and the fruit bars. We just didn't go with the Oreo. We didn't go with the Oreo. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I like hanging out with them. Their neighbors came from across the street. A couple of groups of neighbors got to meet some really cool kids, fun kids, homeschool kids, super smart and energetic and full of life for sure. And some other adults that we could have adult conversations with. So great time. We enjoyed it. We hung out in their new barn and had a potluck dinner, man. We had chili and pork chops and beans and yeah, everything. It's great. It's great. So yeah, other than that, man, I just have a metric shit ton of videos to make. I got products stacking up left and right here. Probably go into, I'm hesitant to, screw it. I'll probably go in tomorrow about my current struggles with the USPS, and what's going on, my take on it, and maybe how we're going to progress. So I'll put that on the main topic list for tomorrow to make sure we hit that. But shut off the product flow for a little bit here till I deal with some bureaucracy. Let's put it that way. But I do have a stack here to get caught up on. But yesterday did swing by the post office and I got something really cool. My buddy at Stamp Seed, James, my contact at Stamp Seed, that sent me out the Stamp Seed kit to check out, to promote to you guys, which I do wholeheartedly recommend. If you I have to check on the coupon code. I'm pretty sure it's just Lots Project, not the Lots Project. I have to double check. I have it in an email. There's no affiliate link. There's no tracking link. Basically, I get paid when you use the discount. You get the discount and I get a little kickback, which is fantastic. Saves you and makes me money. Stamp Seed's pretty cool. Basically, it is a hallmarking set and pre-made. I don't have one out. I would show you pre-made blanks with lines to put your seed phrase for your crypto wallet backup phrase. and you can stamp it in titanium and have it long term. Well, it comes, you can buy a hallmarking set with it. It's got all the numbers and letters, and it's great. It's fantastic. James sent me a message last week, and he's like, hey, man, we got a new product. Do you mind if I send it out to you? You still at the same address? You want to check it out? I'm like, absolutely, man. I think your stuff is great. And so James sent it out. It showed up yesterday. It showed up. I do have the box. It showed up in this big ass box. Like, I got a big head, guys. This thing's the size of my head. And I knew what James was sending. And I was like, I wonder if he sent a bunch of stuff or something. James sent me their brand new product. I'll try to show you here. See the B? It's a bag. B is for bag. B is also for Bitcoin. But basically, Stampseed has started making, I don't even know if I can get it to focus. Stampseed has started making a Hallmark punch with the Bitcoin logo. So it's really hard on the camera to get it to focus in, but legit, it's the solid B with the hashes on the top and the bottom, like the dollar sign. It's fantastic. It is really cool. It looks really cool. To mark up your stamp seeds, to show your interest in Bitcoin, things like that. You can pick that up individually. I think it's like $10. So if you already have a, let me see, I think there's 7mm, 4mm. Sorry, if you already have a set of 4mm Hallmark or punch dies, maybe dies. What the hell would the individuals? What would you call this, Corey? Stamp, punch, tink, tink. Whatever it's called. You can add to your set. You can buy a full set and add it on. I don't know if they're going to start adding them in as standard in their sets. They at this point they are stamp. Jim says stamp. Okay. At this point they are separate. They are custom order, but you can get them at stampseeds.com. And if you go to the website, my website, thelotsproject.com, and you go to partner companies discount codes, Stampseed is there with the discount code. It's in the graph. So you're looking to get that. Hunter mentions they have the little spacer guide thing is fantastic. Yeah, so basically they have constructed a spacer, a template. Basically you slide the piece of metal in, and as long as you line up the lines that are made for the seed phrase words, you can stamp in a solid straight line to make it look professional, make it look nice. You can read it. And then you just, yeah, it's fantastic. Definitely check it out. There is a cost to it, but securely securing your backup phrases as the price of Bitcoin goes up and your wallet value goes up, having that not on paper, having it not going to burn up, not going to get wet and get all blurry and you can't read it. You can buy 2 of these. They have holes in the corner. You can put padlocks in every corner. You can zip tie them together. You can make it so people can't see them. You can keep it in a fire safe. You can throw it in your fire, burn it up, and it's still going to be there. Stamped in titanium. Stampseed.com. I'm going to be better about knowing that discount code, because I can't remember if the is there or not. If you go and try to use the Lots Project and it doesn't work, just take the off. And I believe it's 15% off anything at their store. So check it out. It's a pretty cool company. I like working with James. James is really cool. He reached out and randomly told me I made some money. So that was nice. I always like a company that does that. So I appreciate anybody that's used the code and gone over and picked up a set. I think they're worth the money for sure. I think if he hadn't have sent me out one, I was on the verge of ordering one anyway. He said, hold up. give us a little bit of time to get something put together, and we'll get it out to you. So if I was going to buy it, I think I was going to try it, and after I tried it, I'd definitely buy it again. So I think you guys should think about it. Beyond that, we're up over an hour here. Scrambling is waiting in the wings over on the West Coast for his show. He always overlaps a little bit because I like to run my mouth and I always go long. Here we are, 5. Hunter says we need to get local and have a stamp parties. Yeah, if you want to share your seed phrase with a bunch of people hanging around stamping. Hunter says buy a set with extra plates. There is that. I mean, there is that. You can buy individual plates. You don't need to buy if you have your own hallmarking set that's the right size, you can buy plates, individual plates. You can buy the Bitcoin stamp itself, and all sorts of other stuff over at stampseed.com. Great bunch of guys. They can't take Bitcoin yet for payment because they are in the communist states of New York, but they're trying to figure it out. So right now it's fiat only. Save your Bitcoin for your wallet that you're securing with the stamp seed phrase. Here, 6 minutes after we're going to wrap up and get out of here, I'm going to spend a day with my beautiful wife. I'm going to make videos. She's going to have a relaxing day, not working or worrying about work. And we're going to sit here in the rain, and it's going to rain and rain all week. So I appreciate everybody listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit the like. It's always free to hit the share and the subscribe to the channel. To return value for value, please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm, or check me out over on Nostr. Let me one last trip over to Nostr. Recon Graves, Jim says, get your wallet set up. He tried to zap you, but thanks for all the zaps over on Nostr, guys, and the views. I really appreciate it. That is a value for value platform. If you're not signed up for Nostr and you need to figure it out, give me a message, send me a message, email me, and I can help you out. Other than that, visit thelotsproject.com to find more information about me, all my discount links, discount codes, product links, partner companies, and all the such. I appreciate you watching. I'm glad we made it through the eclipse, that it wasn't the end of the day, end of the world. It was just the middle of the day. It's Tuesday, guys. Let's get through it. We'll be back tomorrow on hump day. Get over the hump and down into another weekend. I appreciate you. Get shit done. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I can see the light. I can feel the sun.